leaders from the other CEE countries, business leaders, ladies and gentlemen, friends, it gives me great pleasure to join you at the 8th China-CEE Business Forum. On the screen, we see the line of the 7th Summit of Heads of Government of CEC and China. What I believe is that the 8th Business Forum should also be prominently shown on the screen, as we know that the Business Forum predates the leaders' meeting by 1 year. It also reflects the fact that it was on the basis of the business cooperation between the two sides that the leaders' meeting came into being. And the leaders' meeting has provided a wider and stronger platform for closer business ties between the two sides. We are encouraged by the fact that with the 16+1 cooperation in place, business relations between China and the CEE countries have come a long way. Even in the backdrop of global economic and financial crisis and sluggish global economic recovery, we have enjoyed a strong momentum of fairly fast growth of business relations at a higher pace than our cooperation with some other regions. In particular, in the first 5 months of this year, the trade between our two sides rose by 24.5%. This is indeed a highly encouraging development, and it also shows the tremendous untapped potential in our business cooperation. In addition, there has been a surge in people-to-people exchange. Given the large population of the Chinese nation, there has been a large inflow of Chinese tourists into the CEE countries, at a double digit in some countries. I believe all these show that we have broad space for further cooperation in economy, trade, and people-to-people engagement. The Prime Minister, in his opening remarks, said that our cooperation serves the interests of all the parties involved, including the 16+1 countries, and in a wider context, Europe and the world. With closer business ties and people-to-people engagement, countries at similar development stage have benefited from this process. Among the 16 countries, there are EU members and EU membership aspirants. 16+1 cooperation will help them meet the criteria at an early date. For EU and Euro, we would like to see a united, open and prosperous EU and further advancement of the integration process of Europe. That is in the interest of Europe and China too, because China believes in multilateralism and world multipolarity. Europe is an important pole in the international landscape for peace and development. When this pole grows stronger, we believe that
重要的力量
the other
一起合作
important
我们就有一
forces
个
in the world will
平衡
be
发展
able
的世
to
界，
seek
就可以
stronger
促
synergy
进
in pursuit of a more balanced
国际
world
政治的
and
民
in
主化
promotion of greater
经济的
democracy of
自由化
international relations
中国
and
自
a
然
free economy.
也会和大家一起分
In
享
this process,
共同
China,
发展
together
的
with all of you,
成果。
will
反过
share
来讲，
in the
欧洲如果削弱了，
outcomes of development.
对中国只有弊处，没有好处。
If Europe is
所以
weakened,
说
it will only
我们
be
应该看到，我们在这个大格局下
bad news
应运
for
而生
China,
的。
not the other way around.
同时呢，我们也
So we
采取的
recognize
是开放
that
包容的态度
our cooperation
来
has
发
come
展
into
世界
being
家
in
园。所以
response
这次
of
我
the
们
call
的
of
主
the
题叫做
times, and we will stay open and
开放
inclusive in pursuing
来促进
cooperation.
欧
Hence,
盟
the
务实
theme
合作。
of
什么
this
叫开
year's
放？
business
就是要有一
forum
个开放的平台。
and leaders meeting.
这个开放的平台
This platform needs to
是
stay
不
open,
仅中国和
open
16国
to the 16
开放
plus
性的合作，
1 countries
而且我
for
们是
closer
透
cooperation.
明的合作。
And this platform needs
我
to
们开放是对其他方
be
面，
transparent.
而且我想呢，
It's
对中华
open
国际
to
对一些
other
国际组
interested
织
parties too,
乃至于对欧洲的重
open
要国家和
to
欧洲
the
的
international
组织开
organizations
放。
and key
大家
members of the EU,
在
as well as
谈
European
双边合作
institutions.
项目的时候，都
When
谈
we
到
explore
资金问题。
the bilateral cooperation projects,
资金从哪里来？
we always
我认
need
为
to address the
16国
financing
发展
issue.
资金
Where does the
需
fund
求量比较大，
come from,
来源
given
越多越
the
好。
high need for such
中
financing?
国有
In
倡
our
议，
cooperation, we believe there will be
Yeah,
an increasing number of channels for such financing. There has been initiatives and concrete actions from the Chinese side.
主要股东之一。我们
With
也
China
参与
being
了
one
欧
of the
洲
major
扶贫银行，
stakeholders
我们还和
in
其
the
他
World Bank
国际
and
组
a
织
participant
和欧洲的一些
and a member of the
都有
EBRD. China
实
has
质性的
already
联系。
had
我们倡议
substantive contacts
这
with
些国际组织和
relevant
中国
European
的
financial
银行
institutions as well.
一起
We have
能
been
够形成
encouraging these institutions
银团式
to
的
work with
合作，
China to establish
在中东欧一些重大项目
channels
上
for
提供合理的
collective
投入的资金，
financing
而且也
support
会得到合理的回报。
and such financing
中方
to the
愿意
16 plus 1
和
cooperation
各方
projects
一起合作，
will
不
reap
会
reasonable
也没有想
returns.
要吃独食。中国自己还有很多不发展的地方，
We never
我们
think
和
that
中东
we
欧
will
国
be
家
the sole
共同合
beneficiary
作，
in this
既
process.
可以推动双方的
Moreover, China
发
has
展。也
many
可以
areas for further development itself.
那么我们
And in
也主
this
张
process, we believe
在
we
经
will be
贸
able
合
to
作当中
benefit from
采
the
取
experience
透
of
明的
other
方式，对
stakeholders.
项目公开的
As I
交
said
表。
before, this process
我们
of cooperation needs to be
希望
transparent
中
too,
国和
including
中东
transparency in
合
public
作的项目
tendering
既然
processes.
有中国的资金的进入，
With the
当然也有
introduction
其他
of
方面的
Chinese
资金进
funds
入，我们
and
当
from
然希
other
望得到
partners,
最好的、最
China
性价
certainly
比最好的投标，
hopes to
他们
see
能够竞标、
there will be highly competitive
银标，
public tendering process
这就需要货比三家。
for the
中国的
business
企业从来都
for
是
the
在国际
businesses
竞争当中成长起
to emerge from this
来。我
process
们不惧怕，
as the most competitive one.
我
The
们也
Chinese
愿
companies
意
have
在
been actively
平等的
involved
竞
in
争当
such
中
international
按
competition
照欧盟的
and
法规
in a level playing
规则
field, we are prepared to
在这个竞争当中
continue to
使这些项目
conduct the process in
能够
keeping with the EU legal framework and
降低
rules.
成本，
What
更
we
有效
hope
率，
to see
特别
is
是保证质
a
量，
lower cost and higher
这
quality
样也会锻炼我们中国自己的
projects
企业，
in our cooperation,
也会锻炼中
that
东欧
will
国家。
help Chinese
我
businesses
们也
and
欢迎
the
西欧国
CEC
家的企
businesses
业一起来。
enhance their
昨
competitiveness.
天我和
Companies
我的
from
首
Western
副总理
Europe
在
are also
讨
most
论
welcome to
中国和
participate. When I discussed with the Prime Minister of Bulgaria yesterday about the bilateral cooperation projects, we considered about third-party or fourth-party cooperation in Bulgaria. I believe that will only open up even wider prospects for our cooperation. There is also high economic complementarity between China and the CEE countries, given our similar development stages. And we have each our comparative strengths, such as the quality agricultural produce from the CEE countries. China will be open-minded about enhancing cooperation between our quality inspection and quarantine authorities to buy more your quality agricultural products. We believe these products will be popular with the Chinese consumers. China also has its own comparative advantage in terms of certain products, like industrial products. These products are quality yet inexpensive, and I have confidence that they will also be welcomed by their CEE consumers. The Chinese government will continue to encourage competitive and reputable Chinese companies to open factories for producing these products to meet local needs in the CEE countries. I do believe we have tremendous potential of cooperation in these areas when we have already had a strong momentum of cooperation in these respects. Our cooperation has been taking place against the backdrop of globalization. And closer regional cooperation from within and cross-region. And these are all the important components of worldwide cooperation. We are encouraged to see the strong momentum of growth in the CEE countries, whereas at the same time, the Chinese economy also enjoys strong potential and a broad domestic market. In the first half of this year, in particular, compared with Q1, our economy maintained a strong momentum of steady growth. The economic fundamentals that underpin China's long-term growth will remain unchanged, and the Chinese people are hardworking, intelligent, and resilient. I'm confident that the Chinese economy will continue to enjoy strong growth with the hard work of the Chinese people, and we will also remain unchanged in our commitment to reform and opening up, because that has been essential for the steady growth of the Chinese economy and tremendous achievements that China has made in the past several decades. Reform and opening up have played a critical role for China's growth. Hence, we will stay on the path of reform and opening up. In this process, we will continue to transform government functions to better match the roles of the government and the market, to ensure that the market plays its decisive role in allocating resources. We also need to follow market principles and business rules in our cooperation between the two sides. Opening up has been a key driver of China's reform agenda, so we will continue to open wider to the world, including widening market access for foreign investors. And for foreign products which meet the Chinese consumers' needs, we will open the door wider to them to come into the Chinese market. We will lower the overall import tariffs to the Chinese market. Well, all in all, I believe that we are each other's opportunities. It is high time that we seize all these opportunities and the strong momentum. We need to also firmly uphold global free trade to ensure there will be sustained global economic recovery and growth, and that will create a more favorable environment for our cooperation. And I believe that our cooperation will also be a boost for Europe's development. And China-CEE cooperation and cooperation between China and Europe will also contribute strongly to global development. I want to offer my congratulations on the successful opening of the Business Forum, and in particular, I want to give my best wishes to all the business leaders present at the forum for most substantive results in your business negotiations. We may not hold a glass for a toast in our hands, but my warmest congratulations for a most successful business forum, and all the best for your negotiations. Thank you.
That was Chinese Premier Li Keqiang's keynote speech at the 8th Business Forum between China and 16 Central and European countries. In his speech, Premier Li Keqiang said that trade and economic cooperation between the two sides has increased significantly, 24.5%. That's the growth rate of the two sides' trade and economic cooperation in the first 5 months of this year. Also, people-to-people exchanges have seen significant increase as well. And for more insight into that speech, we're joined in the studio by Professor Liu Baozheng. So, Professor, in his speech, Premier Li Keqiang mentioned two